Swamp Thing living in my swamp today. I'm cold and damp now.
All right, we're back on Scare Value Podcast for another week. We're doing something a little different than usual today.
What are we doing different? I was looking for Slim Shady because that's who's back. Look, buddy, I rely on you for guidance. If you're lost here, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with myself.
I'm not lost, just distracted. We didn't do horror movies this time.
No, I'm all right with that. You said these were not scary movies. In fact, I don't think there was too much scary about them. In fact, I think they were comical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did some Japanese comedic sci-fi films.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think they were meant to be comedy, were they?
Yes, they definitely were.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Let me go back in time. No.
Wait, what? Oh, that's a song.
Let me go back to where this came from. I saw the movie River at the Anomaly Film Festival and loved it. And then discovered that the director and writer had made a previous film with some different takes on sci-fi. And I watched that and I loved it too. So I think Pete will really enjoy these. But
These were by the same director?
yes.
Interesting.
Why would we double up on them if they weren't?
I don't know, because they're both vaguely, time travel, I guess, is what they are?
Yeah. The same writer, same director. Yeah.
What is your deal today?
I think I don't. I'll try to block it out. We'll get to it. I don't want to ruin the episode.
Do I need to get the doll to show me where they touched you?
Maybe when they touched me. We'll get to it. There's something strange. Something strange happened.
Look,
and it involved you too. So Bono and Edge
Veg himself.
We'll get to it. I don't want to ruin the episode, so let's just get right into this.
Oh, right. You know what the best part is? I don't remember either of these movies, and I just watched one. So you got to give me the rundown again.
Well, Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes it came out in 2020. It was both films were written by Makoto Ueda and directed by Junta Yamaguchi. And they're madmen in my mind.
Based on the plots, yes. And it makes sense because they're filmed pretty much the same way, too. It's almost like a single shot kind of thing.
Well, yes. Now, the second movie gets away with a lot easier because they chop the shots into 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes is about Kato, who owns a cafe, and he lives above the cafe. And he discovers that the monitor in his apartment is 2 minutes ahead of the monitor in the cafe. So he can see 2 minutes into the future and interact with whoever's talking into that monitor. And him and his friends discover that if they take the two monitors and put them against face each other, that they'll create I think it's Drost effect.
Oh, that sounds...
The picture that gets smaller inside its own picture.
But yeah, it's also showing you, this one, it shows you the future, farther and farther.
So they can see as the thing cascades in and out, like 6 levels deep, it's like, that's actually 18 minutes, and this is an hour and a half. So
you see things happening far in the background when they're showing the monitors, and you're like, hey, that's going to happen at some point. That movie is fun.
A clever idea that is made completely mental by the challenges of making it appear to be one shot, because they'll record themselves on the monitor and then they have to get into position to actually record it in real time to talk to themselves on the monitor, and you'll see them in the background inching closer as they get closer on the monitor effect, and then they'll be there and then they'll be able to interact with each other. It's completely insane,
and it's done really well. It's a nonstop. It's just this constant 2 minute loop, but it feels real time, and it's done really, really clever, where at no point do you think that they've ever stopped filming for any kind of cut.
It's nuts because how they timed this out, where they'll be in time to turn and be like, oh, I'm here, and it's exactly the scene you saw play out in the monitor is now playing out in the cafe. It's completely insane.
You'd think you'd get bored, right? Because it's the 2 minutes and it's showing 2 minutes, but they do enough things. It's just a genuinely fun movie with weird twists that you don't expect. And even though you can see them coming because you can see down the monitors, so you know there's stuff happening.
But one thing they do really early in it that I love is that Kato wants to ask out his neighbor. And he's like, I can't do that. She won't say yes. And then Kato shows up 2 minutes in the future on the monitor. He's like, she said yes. And he's like, oh, then I'll go do it. And then she shoots him down. Right. And you're like, well, how does that work? And then the girl that works for them tells him, like, lie to yourself. We don't want to break the time loop.
Because we've already created
Because we're afraid of it.
Right. They're playing with
So
the
then
game.
you see him pop up in real life, and he's, like, lying the way you saw it, and it's hilarious. But also, like, what are the rules?
They don't know the rules. You don't know the rules.
But
and
they're afraid to break them.
Only partway through, they start pretty flagrantly just playing with things, and then they, like, learn as they go, which is a fun aspect of a time travel movie.
It's a very fun movie. I just don't think that it didn't have a story that was, there's only so much you can do with it. The technical achievement is unbelievable.
Yeah, all right.
And the thought process that goes into it is unbelievable. But you can't really get a story going.
That's why it's only, like 70 minutes or something, which is perfect Pete time.
Yeah.
That's what I want in a movie. In fact, when we got to the river,
we're not to river yet.
Yeah, but when I got to watching it, it was way more than 70 minutes. That's not
like
cool.
85 minutes. Or 81 minutes.
It's way more than 70, dude.
It's not way more.
It's way more.
Well, did you like Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes better than River?
Well, let's talk about the river first. So
It's not The River.
It's The River.
The River is a song by Bruce Springsteen.
I've been calling these movies Beyond the Two Rivers for a while now, so I'm not changing. I assume they're all one movie.
Well, let's finish with Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes.
The end.
The reason that I don't like it as much, they both feature the standard sci-fi explanation at the end. This time, time agents show up, and they're like, you have to do.
Fantastic.
Loved it. Yes.
Great. Out of nowhere, it's like you're watching the movie, and then all of a sudden there's time cops, and you're like, yeah, you're not Jean-Claude.
Love it. And that's when they decide they're going to break the loop, and not loop, but they're going to break what's determined, and then they just disappear because they've changed the future.
They destroy
forever.
the future. And
Yes.
then his reasoning for it was what? He got turned down on a date or something. Or he thought he was going to win a contest, or there was something. It was a ridiculous excuse where he was 100% convinced he was going to get it, and then he didn't. So you're like, future stupid.
Well, the other thing that happens is there's a big fight scene where his past self is able to tell them what he needs to protect himself so he can go in and win the fight. And it's a clever thing. I just don't think the story was ever...
You know what, though? For 70 minutes, I don't need a story. I had the fun. I had the fun of him, his past self, kept on the video telling his friends. So as he's walking up for the confrontation, his friends are running up.
He'd turn and be like he gets stabbed, and he'd be like, oh no. And it's like, oh, there's a ketchup bottle here. Tell him to get ketchup. And he's like, get ketchup and put it in your pocket. So he's all loaded up to go. And he looks in his pocket, and he's like, I don't remember putting this in there because he hasn't done it yet.
Right.
'Cause you're watching him on the monitor.
Right. But it's really fun just to see him walking as the people run up and hand him things. He's like, all right.
It is hilarious because what's happening in that 2 minutes is he's slowly walking upstairs, but they're watching on the monitor what's happening in the 2 minutes in the future. So he would get stabbed, and then he'd pull the thing out of his pocket and turn to the camera and be like, this is why I have this. So they're like, get him that.
Get him the ketchup. Right. It's a closed loop, right? Where everything has happened. Like it is set because they're able to affect the future and change it. But I don't know. Time travel makes my head hurt, and then I need to go take a nap for a long time, which is why it took me so long to watch these two movies.
I consider that movie to be a perfect technical
achievement.
Not achievement. It's a
donkey.
It's like a test.
Potato.
It's like, here's what we can do with this technology. What do you want to do with it? And they don't do anything more with it than how do you use it for fun. There's no character arc that is like important to this movie that much. He does get with the girl in the end, I guess.
Yeah, but you got 70 minutes to tell a story.
Okay. The fucking point of the movie is not that it's 70 minutes long. You need to bring more than that to the thing.
You see, I think you're asking too much for a 70-minute movie. It's just a fun little thing.
I'm not asking anything of it. I think it's great. I just think that what I'm saying about that movie in particular is that it doesn't do anything narratively outside of the gimmick.
Yeah, all right. I'll agree with that.
Whereas River, which I prefer, does. Because River is a more standard time loop movie. Every 2 minutes, it resets. But everybody in the movie knows it's happening. And they keep all the memories of everything that happened to them. So it's not like Groundhog's Day, where only one guy knows and everyone else is just going about their lives and he's walking through their lives over and over. Everybody knows they're caught in this loop. They don't know why.
First off, it's Groundhog Day.
Sure.
So let's just let's keep the classics where they belong.
It will be again when I edit this.
Anyway, back to The River. I just really wanted to say the Groundhog Day. I stopped listening after I heard you say groundhogs, and I was like, I can't handle this.
Well,
I can't handle it. It was a 2-minute loop. It was It was story. There was a lot of story.
Yes, that's what I liked about it.
I think I see the difference in our, our
liked
movie watching.
One was shorter and didn't ask you to think at all.
Not even a little.
It's not like this movie asks you to think.
You know what? It did. Are we talking about River?
Yeah.
Okay, but not River from Firefly. River, the movie that I just watched this morning. Gotcha. It was fun. You know what? Both of these movies had... This one I feel like almost had more heart to it. It was a nice
definitely
movie.
did.
It was a very sweet little movie at the end of the day about people being stuck in an infinite 2 minutes.
These, first of all, the characters are all fun, but the inn that they're at is a great setting. It's beautiful, right by the river. It's why it's called River. And it's beautiful.
I see.
It's a great set, and it's perfect for them running around for 2 minutes, because what's funny is the more stuff they figure out that they have to do or get together to discuss things, they'll have to run from starting position over and over again to get there, and
To
they
get
waste
back
half
to
the
each
time.
other.
So, go ahead.
No, you're jumping back to the characters. Every character had something going on, and I think they all resolved things within that 2 minutes. They all figure it out.
Well, yeah, the main character, if there is one, because it always starts back with her, is Makoto. And she comes to believe she caused the loop to happen because she made a wish. And her wish was that the guy she likes is about to leave for school, and she doesn't want him to go.
Cooking school.
And she'll be gone for
French
years. Yeah,
cooking
he's gonna go
school.
to a very good cooking school and be gone for years. And she doesn't want him to go, so she thinks she's caused the thing. So eventually
She
they're
made
like-
a wish.
Eventually they're like, you can unwish this, but that doesn't work because she doesn't actually cause it. What causes it to me is one of the pure joys of cinema. The explanation for why they're in this loop to me is better than the time agents. It's the best.
Well,
It's so joyful
what? Why does that ring so strongly for you? What?
because it's just pure joy to me that
What
they're
part?
like, why are they trapped in the loop, Pete?
Because some time traveler's hanging around.
Her machine's malfunctioning, and if they don't prevent it from exploding, it's going to continue them in the loop forever. And when she pops up and she's like, because she pops up early in the movie, she's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I have car trouble. And they're like, we don't know anything about that. And then they realize she's the one person that's not really involved in any of their ongoing. So when they catch up with her, she's like, so I'm a time traveler and my core is overflowing and it's causing this time ripple. And it's so, and they help her and it ends with this happy ending. And it's just such a, I don't know how to put it. It's such a joyful ending to me where she's like, oh, it's because this time traveler is running around. I find that adorable.
Yeah, okay. And it was yeah. And you get all of the little hints. You see all the things that, the future is going to be good for the people. You
Yeah.
have them hidden throughout.
Like my favorite part of this movie is probably the part you liked the least. It's when Makoto is trying to come to terms with the life changing that she doesn't want to happen to her, the guy leaving and her life changing, and they go on their 2 minute date, and I think it's all like just wonderful. And if you remember, that 2 minute date ends with the hunter shooting himself. Because he doesn't understand what's happening, but he can't continue anymore. So they have to get to him now faster to be like, don't kill yourself. We got things we can fix maybe. And there's these eclectic characters all over. The writer who doesn't want to finish by his deadline, and now he's happy there's no deadline.
The guy trapped in the bath.
Yep. These are all out of the same actors from Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes.
Son of a bitch.
They're just repurposed.
I watched that one a few weeks ago, so I don't remember that the actors, I didn't even notice. And I got a big complaint for both movies, and it's my inability to do a credit check for either of these two movies.
Which, again, you could have done online.
I don't know how. I don't know where you're supposed to look. I've tried before to find best boys. I'm like, who is the best boy in this movie? And you know what? They don't tell you. The internet doesn't tell you.
Jeffrey Jones has tried to find Best Boys, too.
Oh, God.
You
Is
got
he
a lot
not,
in
is he
common
not
with him.
dead yet?
No, still not.
God damn it.
So, what I like about that movie a lot is that, there is comedy all over it. There's a chef who's just an amateur time travel enthusiast who's trying to figure out what's
What
happening.
did he say? Like, I went to science, or I know science.
Yeah.
I'm in charge now.
So they spend a couple loops just having to run up there to talk to him to finish the conversation. I just enjoy all of that so much. I enjoy how frustrated she is every time it resets, and she's like in the middle of a sentence, she's like, and she has to run back to where they were.
The different people's very. I didn't know. Now that I know that it was the same writer director, I guess I can see
Same
the progression.
writer and director, not the same person.
What did I say?
You said same writer director. That's one.
Yeah.
Guy. You've attributed it to one guy.
I don't have time to be putting extra words in. If I can just put a slash, do I have to say writer? No, not slash, because that would be, he's a guitarist. So
You just have to put a writer and a director.
writer, I don't know a way around this yet, but I'm going to find it because I don't like wasting words.
But I like River better because there's mystery to it, which I love the payoff. It's funnier. There is romance and unexpected reveals and just fun moments all over it. And I just think it's better because it does more with it's a simpler concept and it does more narratively with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching, because I guess I watched Beyond the Infinite first, and then I watched River. So partway through, at least I think around the halfway mark of the River, I was really thinking, I'm like, well, I don't like it as much as Beyond the Infinite. I just don't. But by the end, I guess I think it's all right. I don't know. I hate ranking. You and your goddamn rankings. I don't know how to rank these things. They're both good time travel movies. I liked them better than a lot of time travel movies, because a lot of time travel movies are, oh, let's see the worst of everything. Let's see how time travel can go awry and how people are not good in general. Like, I'm trying to think of anything. What do we got? Looper. Looper was there.
Looper's terrible.
Primer is a good time travel movie, but there's no joy. There's no fun in it. It's just a very technical time travel movie, which is fun. I like that, but I'm not going to have fun with it. What else? Back to the Future, I guess, has comedy. I'm trying to think time travel movies.
I don't know, but you know what I thought of just now? If we were in a 2-minute loop while we were recording this, we wouldn't even know.
No, because I'm going to repeat the same things over and again anyway.
That too, but I mean, we would just keep talking and time would reset, but nothing around us would change because we're in this basement and there's no, I would look, unless I was staring at this clock, I would not know.
You know, we might have been in this 2-minute loop for the last 30 years.
It's true.
This basement seems awful familiar now.
The only people in the movie that are kind of caught like that are the guys eating, because they're like, this bowl of rice keeps refilling.
I like that the one guy keeps trying to eat.
They keep trying to eat it.
Yeah, I respect that. He's like, well, bowl's full.
Well, I like how they attacked it. The characters were, because you have the people working at the inn and then you have their guests. And the first thing the people working at the inn do when they figure out they're caught in this time loop is like, well, we have to take care of the guests and make them aware of what's happening and try to calm them. It's that Japanese culture, because in America, we'd be like, every man for themselves, fucking set it on fire.
Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, that's how most of the time travel stuff works. There's always something big and important. There's very few that are these little lighthearted ones.
They're just caught in a repeating explosion of time and they can't get out of it. And then they do have to work together and solve how to siphon the energy from her machine and save the day. Also, I just think because the time traveler is adorable. She's like, oh, hello. My machine is broken.
I liked her fancy future half cape, which you didn't know was a future dress until later, but that was a cool outfit, and I wanted to. I think there was a hat involved. It was so fancy.
I like too when they first meet her, and she's just like politely asking if anybody knows how to fix her automobile, and they're like, we don't really know anything about that. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, and then she leaves, and I'm like, that's her. She's gonna do this every 2 minutes and just go around trying to find somebody that knows how to fix a time machine.
That might be able to help her. Yeah. Well, yeah, because she got stuck. It's one of those things where it doesn't explain too much. It doesn't have to go ahead and explain the rules too much. It
explains everything.
But enough. Like, why do I need a blowtorch to heat up the frozen, and I can do it why does a bullet give enough energy to the machine to make it fly?
Oh, I don't need to know that, I guess.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't need to know either. I'm like, seems like that holds up. Well, that guy had a gun. That's why we needed to do it.
I loved the explanation of why it's happening, because it's like we're doing a sci-fi thing, and they pull a really hard sci-fi thing, like a fun one, and you're like, oh, that's a great way to keep doubling down on it.
What do you mean?
Like, we're stuck in a time loop. That's a sci-fi concept.
Right.
What's the explanation going to be? And they tell you it's like, oh, because she wished on it. And it's like, I guess I'd believe that.
Yeah, I've seen lots of those where they throw the coins in the fountain in trade places.
And it doesn't work. And then you're like, I wonder what is causing this. And maybe they're just stuck here forever. And then it's because there's a time traveler, which is funny because I'm watching a time loop, but the idea of time travel is a different thing than a time loop.
Right.
Like, if at the end of Groundhog Day, a time traveler popped up and he's like, oh, sorry about my machine here. First of all, what a fucking amazing ending that would have been. But secondly, it would have felt out of place.
Would it have, though? I would have accepted it.
I would have accepted anything.
I think I will accept. If there's a movie involving time travel, I want to accept any kind of time traveler popping up at the end and going, this movie is over, and knocking the camera over and running away.
You know what the plot of Groundhog Day is, though? It's how many loops until people accept Andie MacDowell in this movie?
Never.
Yeah, you liked her in the end of that movie.
Did I?
Sure.
Why?
Because you're happy for Bill Murray. Because he stopped being as sarcastic.
I don't know, but that kid never says thank you when he falls out of that tree.
No, I know.
Every day.
I've heard this brought up before. I think Paul F. Tompkins brought it up. But, like, you know his piano teacher? Mm-hmm. Why the fuck is she taking credit for him when he would have had at most one lesson in her mind and shown up that good the first day?
I take credit for shit all the time.
You remember that, though, right?
I remember that.
It's like, that's my student. First
She
of all,
was right.
Why did he bother showing up that day? He's already mastered it. But secondly, why does she think she gets credit for any of this when he's been there for 1 hour?
She's his teacher. Did he rob the bank car again? Because that's how he was paying for everything. Like every day, does he rob that armored car?
That's the thing. I don't know exactly what he didn't do that last day.
Me
You assume
neither.
he didn't do it because you assume he did all good things.
It's a lot of assuming. No, this. Okay, I'm trying to think of. I had somewhere to go, but then I got stuck in Groundhog Day because I like Groundhog Day, and I like these
You
two
got
movies.
stuck in Groundhog Day.
I got stuck in it. There was.
The River, I think, is just the most fun I've seen had with the Loop movie. Because what was the other one that was on Hulu?
Looper.
With, ironically, not a time loop movie. Well, it kind of is.
Jumper.
No, the movie with Andy Samberg,
Oh, I don't know it, but I know what you're talking
Palm
about.
Springs or Palm.
But yeah, something like that.
It was good, but
I never saw it.
It was good, but it wasn't as good as River, I don't think. But it
Okay.
was fun.
I have nothing. Are there? Because there's a couple of different categories of time travel, right? There's the straight up time
This isn't
travel.
time travel. They're not going anywhere.
But there's a time loop
That's
as
not
well.
time travel.
But there was a time travel in the time loop.
Yeah, there's a time traveler who caused the loop.
So I'm
But-
just saying, I'm trying to figure out the different types of time movies there are. Because there's
Time after time.
that's time travel.
And there's Time Enough at Last.
You know what? There's weirdly a lot of. First off, everything is 2-minute intervals. If you look, because I was just thinking that what was the one with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock? It was like a love story.
The Lake House.
Yeah, that one. That was, I think, 2 years apart. Like two seems to be a reoccurring number for people who want to write time movies. The number 2. So I got to make sure if I ever write one, I'm never going to use 2.
Time Cop.
I never saw that one. Is that the Jean-Claude one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that reference earlier. I didn't even remember the name of the movie.
Well, Time Enough at Last is not a time travel movie. That's the one where Burgess Meredith sits on his glasses. That's a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, the one where he's got the bunker for nuclear war and he's
For
got
his
his
books.
books and he won't let anyone in so he can finally have peace and quiet. And it's a classic.
Yeah.
A classic, I tells you. That was pretty good too. Comeuppance, being a jerk.
I guess.
Do you remember that McDonald's, speaking of that McDonald's commercial from like 1,000 years ago where there was a lady and she was waiting for the bus and there was an Egg McMuffin, or not an egg, she was looking over at the McDonald's and the guy next to her was like, "You're never going to make it."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she runs and it cuts back to he's on the bus and he's like, "Oh, I knew she wasn't going to make it." And there she is eating her Egg McMuffin. I was trying to go to school one day and I had missed my bus. So I had to go take the real bus. And guess what was across the street? A McDonald's.
I was going to say, it was that girl eating her Egg McMuffin.
No, but it was a McDonald's, and that girl eating the Egg McMuffin kind of popped in my head. I'm like, I could go for an Egg McMuffin. So I looked. There was a guy next to me, and I said, "I'm going to make it." And he just stared at me as I ran across the street, went into the McDonald's. No one in line, got the McMuffins. I got 2 Egg McMuffins, can't remember what they cost. Went back outside. The bus was there when I went outside. I had to run across the street through traffic, got on the bus, but I made it. But I also spent all my money on the Egg McMuffins. And then I could not get on the bus, and he made me get off, and it was sad. But then I had 2 Egg McMuffins, so I walked home and ate them.
You didn't go to school that day?
No, I had Egg McMuffins to eat, obviously.
Do you remember when you used to skip school all the time? But in the winter, you got wise to it, so you would put footsteps heading to the bus stop and then walk backwards toward them to get
I
back.
don't remember doing that, but that's very clever of me. I wish I was that smart now.
I believe you got caught the one time, and you were like, "Oh, I got to start preparing this." So you would walk back and then just hide in the garage.
The garage was I was hiding in the garage one time, and some other kid from the neighborhood showed up to also hide from his parents while we skipped school. That was quite the hangout up there.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't go to school. I went to the same school as you. It was fine. You got through it.
I did get through it.
I know it's I don't know.
Apparently, they're not hard and fast on attendance policies in the American education system.
No, I graduated like the normal way, and then weeks later, you went in there to get. I don't know what you were getting.
That was months later.
Months later, you went in there to get something from them, a transcript or something, and the guy's like, "I guess you'll want this," and they give you your diploma, even though I counted at least 5 things you did not accomplish that you're supposed to graduate high school.
Well, they gave me that diploma, and I promptly lost it. So, joke's on them.
But
Can't make me take it.
I'm not going to lie; it was a little aggravating that I put in any work, and then apparently I didn't have to.
That's the lesson I learned from high school. Never try.
That's the lesson. Mm-hmm. So you cannot tell me which one you like better. That's a simple question.
Well, it follows my pattern. I do have a brand.
I do think that the technical achievement on the first one is just so mind-blowing. It's like a real mind-bending movie how they did it.
I like them both. If I'm going to pop one in again, it's probably the first one.
Because it's 70 minutes.
Because it's 70 minutes. Exactly. Also, it's just, it seems, oh no, the other one's pretty fast paced too. But they, you know what? I'll give you a lot of credit there. They build a lot of story into that second movie.
They really do.
With how, such a frantic 2-minute time period to work within. They accomplish a lot. And the characters are all fun.
Yeah, I like everything about the second one better, except that I think that the first one is the one that kind of blows your mind more. The second one's just like a really, really good movie. And the first one's like, it's a good movie too. But look, how did they do this? How did they know? The guy jumps in front of the screen so that the monitor can talk to him. I'm like, how? And it's exactly what you saw before. I have no concept of how they did it.
Nope. I saw something where it was filmed in 10-minute clips.
Yeah.
And then they just figured out really good places to splice.
I know, but how? That's the splicing of it isn't what kills me. It's how do they time this out?
I don't know.
So that they could jump in and talk to themselves and deliver the exact same performance I've already seen, and they are doing it now. I don't know how they did that.
I 100% believe that was filmed all in 70. I'm like, that's why it's 70 minutes, because they had to film it in one shot.
I'm almost positive that it was filmed because they discovered the 2-minute loop and they just played with it. Because how else do you do it? How do you do it where you have somebody say something offhanded that will then come back like an hour later in the movie or 20 minutes later in the movie, and the guy's in the back of the monitor. So he's minutes away from being in the front, which means he's more minutes away from being in front of the camera doing it. And he's reacting to you like, hello, and like right in time. It's like, how did they ever write this? And then how did they figure out how to time it? And then how did they direct it? It's insane.
Yeah, it is. And that's probably, again, why I'd put that one on first, because it's short and crazy.
I think they make a good double feature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they are short enough that you don't, I mean, that's just like watching any Marvel movie now.
Yeah, pretty much. This is probably shorter. This is much shorter than Endgame to watch both these movies.
Yeah, and I think that has more plot.
River definitely does.
100.
I liked Endgame.
I think I don't remember. I remember Endgame was a lot of long time travel. There's another time travel movie.
That's what I was gonna say.
Isn't Doctor Strange and the Multitude of Mad People also time travel-y?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I think it's interdimension jumping.
Oh yeah, because there was the Scarlet Witch. Why didn't she fight Godzilla? She was in that first movie.
I think she can beat him and you don't.
No, she can't. She could have tried though, man. We'd really discussed this before on this podcast.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I said, do you think
it's good that
Scarlet Witch could beat Godzilla? You said no. I said, I think she can. And you said, well, no. And I said, well, I think she can. She's like, that doesn't change my opinion. And I see months later, it still hasn't.
No, because she wouldn't win. Godzilla's Godzilla. Now, what if Godzilla was stuck in a time loop?
I wonder if that's happened in one of these movies.
Ooh, I got a script to write.
Godzilla minus 2 minutes.
Godzilla and the Infinite 2 minutes. Oh, that's a quality film.
I would give anything for this writer and this director to make a Godzilla movie.
There's no real firm plans for a Godzilla minus 2 yet, right?
No.
So I think somebody should do it. Can we write a letter? Is there a letter campaign we can do?
Are you going to write the letter?
You know what? My 10-year-old likes writing letters. I'll get her to do it.
Dear Japan.
Dear Japan.
My dad liked the 70-minute long movie. Make one that's also Godzilla. I don't know why your kids are dumb.
But slower, slower.
That's how I talk, not that.
Like less time. Can you make a 60-minute Godzilla? Time travel? I don't want 70 minutes. That's too much.
Where would he go? He'd go back and fight the dinosaurs?
I don't think that's really a fight. I don't know what he would do. He's got a whole bunch of people. Do you think he could be a time cop? Godzilla time cop?
If he had a badge.
Where would you put it? On his chest? On his hand?
It would be a hat.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
And then when his spines glow, it starts at the tail and goes all the way up his head, then the hat flies off his head and he shoots out the atomic breath.
What else? That's the only time movies I can think of.
Time travel?
Time loop.
I'm going to go back to Looper.
Looper's not a time loop movie.
I feel like it is, because they're young and then he's old and then he's got to go back and be shot by himself.
Looper doesn't make any sense time travel wise anyway. I've argued before it's the dumbest time travel logic.
I don't know. There's a lot of dumb time travel logic. What about Hot Tub Time Machine? Is that a loop movie?
No. Do they reset?
I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
A time loop movie is where you reset in the day restarts, or just in this case 2 minutes.
Memento.
No. Memento is no.
It's a time movie.
His mind does reset, I suppose.
So there you go. Maybe that's what was happening in all of these movies. Oh wait, no, there's a time traveler in one of them. And we got no explanation for. We got no explanation why it was happening. It was just an anomaly.
They just caused an anomaly.
Yeah, but why it started doing that, no one knows. No. And then they made it worse by playing with it.
The first time it happens, it's when he goes upstairs and he sees himself on the screen and they have a conversation. I was like, that's pretty cool. I did not realize how wild they were going to get with, in depth they were going to get with many people talking to each other at different times.
The infinite 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like it keeps leveling up and it gets to a point of just complete absurdity where you see a guy you'll see a screen and inside that screen there's another screen, inside that screen there's another screen, it goes all the way deep, and you'll see a guy in the screen like 7 layers deep, and you're like, I'll see this guy in 14 minutes. And then in 14 minutes, he'll have to jump in front of the camera and do it. How many
people start popping up too, like you said?
People you never even met before, and they're like, where did these guys come from? And they look down there, and it's people, and they run downstairs, and they're about to enter the cafe, and I'm like, this is amazing.
And it just keeps going till you've got a full cast of people running up and down stairs because they've got 2 minutes to
Alone
go.
Or in pairs.
That's downstairs. Oh. And those are slinkies.
How'd they get up there?
Or perhaps logs.
Do you think they never walked up there to get up there?
No. I don't think they ever do. I think they're brought up there by human agents and then left, and then they go about and do their own things. I feel that way about a lot of my socks. Like, they always go missing, so I assume they're just off doing adventures. Uh-huh. I'm missing a lot of pants right now, too. I think the socks have taken them either hostage or they're off on an adventure together.
They're making an Edgar suit.
That's a time travel movie.
No.
One of them is time travel.
Yes, the third one is time travel.
I never saw that one. But it was
There's a lot more time travel movies than there are time loop movies, because I don't think that there's that many new things you can do with time loop movies. And then I saw River and I was like, oh, you can just change the whole dynamic of it. First of all, make it much shorter because it's not the day. It's almost always a day. And have everybody caught in it. So it's a shared experience.
But not everybody. It was a localized thing.
Yeah, everybody at the inn.
Right.
Was caught in it.
In the little valley or stretch of river that they were on.
Everybody near the exploding time machine.
Right. I liked, too, that there was some sort of world line also moving, like the time for the...
Yeah, the Earth's still rotating, so they go through winter while caught in the loop.
Yeah, like they had started talking about snow coming later in the day.
Yeah.
And then one of the resets, there's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And then the snow goes away, and then they never address it, which I'm okay with, but time has passed.
Yeah, time's passing out in the real world. They're stuck in... It's just them.
They're like Rip Van Winkle, which maybe that was a time travel thing, too.
Yeah, we don't really know how long they were stuck there. I had taken it at face value, though, because everything plays into the next one, so I'm going to say 85 minutes.
Yeah, I don't count. See, again, so I like both these movies. I don't want to think. I don't have to think about and that was a problem with Looper. I don't know why I'm dumping on Looper so badly, but that one, it wants me to think. It's telling me, try to figure it out. We're trying to be
think,
clever.
And then it gives you the wrong answer, because this is the problem with Looper. Bruce Willis, his past is fixed. However he got to the place he's at has already happened to him. That's his past. You cannot change his past. So at the end of the movie, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, I'll stop him, I'll shoot myself. And it's like, he should have just stood there, laughed at him, and kept going about his business, because it doesn't actually change the fact that your past happened.
But what if he disappeared like the time agents in Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes?
Why didn't you just shoot his hand off?
So then Bruce Willis wouldn't have a hand. No, that's a comedy waiting to
happen.
happen.
And he dropped the gun. That was the whole point, was he had to get the gun out of his hand. It's like, I don't like that movie. Back to the Future's time travel is also incorrect, but at least it's fun.
It makes perfect sense.
Why are people fading away?
Because that happens
slowly. That happens.
That's what happens. I've seen it. I've seen it now in Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, and now I've seen it in this one, and there was some other one. I'm sure they've done it in.
You saw what?
What? Back to the Future.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
They fade away.
Nobody. The time.
The time cops in Beyond the Infinite River.
Well, they ceased to exist, but they did it. They did it all in one swoop. They didn't just be like, my hand's disappearing because I'm the youngest.
It took a while.
As if they were going to get together later, just not have the first two kids, but they would have Marty.
Time's unraveling from the future back.
I get that.
Do you? Because it sounds like you don't.
I get it.
Look, those of us who time travel extensively, we're smart. Like, we've talked about Future Pete before.
Yeah.
He's a problem. And apparently he's so wily, I can't stop him no matter what I do.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, because...
What did Future Pete do?
I have an update on that.
All right, I'm ready. I'm braced. I'm prepared. Lay it on me, Daddy.
Don't ever do that again.
Lay it on me, Big Papa.
That I like.
Drop some knowledge.
So, this week I received a package in the mail.
A package.
I don't know how else to say that.
That's gross. You're gross.
So I don't really know.
What was in this package? I get packages all the time.
An audio cassette tape.
A what?
Remember when we were young and before
No.
CDs, when things were on just cassette tapes?
8 tracks?
No, post that.
Betamax.
Same time as that, but a different, not a video.
A tape, you say? A cassette?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. You put a pencil in it and spin the little wheels, and then it makes all the stuff come out.
Yeah, so I got a cassette tape in the mail. And I luckily still have my dead stepfather's stereo out in the garage because I never moved
You
it.
got that laying around.
Whoever cleaned out the garage.
You know, I have a VCR.
Okay,
It still works.
great.
Okay. I thought we were sharing old technology we both still had possession of.
I would think that it's interesting that I got a cassette tape in the mail.
I was more interested in figuring out what I have in relation to your old technology. But anyway, what about this cassette tape? Did you listen to it?
I did.
Okay.
And I then took it and I burned it onto a CD so that I could rip the MP3 file off of it so that I could upload it for you to listen to.
I've already shut down. My brain has stopped listening when you talked about uploading an MP3. Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, it's fucking insane because
All right.
you have to listen to the tape.
Now?
Yeah, it's short,
How short?
like a minute.
It's not an infinite minute, is it?
Well, it might loop back if I hit it twice.
All right, let's go. Hit play.
All right. Hey, you stupid asshole. It's you. Me from the future, kind of, in the past. Listen, I'm recording this in a dressing room at Ames. Do you remember Ames? Well, of course you do. It's me from a very short amount of time ago. Something really strange is going to happen, and you have to listen very closely. In the near future, you're going to discover that time travel exists. You and Pete are going to end up stuck in 1986. And we aren't completely sure how yet. And the last thing you remember, we were recording the podcast, and then suddenly it's the fucking 80s, and we have no money and nowhere to stay. My hope was that just making you aware of this would prevent it from happening, but I'm still sitting here, so I guess that didn't work. Maybe I have to make sure it gets to you before we pick up, so I'm going to sneak this comically large tape recorder and the tape out of there in my pocket, and then try to maybe post-date send it to you. Hey, thank God for Back to the Future, too. I wouldn't have come up with that otherwise. If that doesn't work, I have no idea what we're going to do, so wish yourself luck.
First off, what the fuck is an Ames? Second off,
You don't remember Ames?
was this why you made me do time travel movies? Like, is that why you made me watch them?
What do you mean?
For whatever this thing is that you're doing? Because I can watch a time travel movie. I'm okay with time travel movies.
Pete, I didn't record that.
I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if we're joking or what.
No, I never recorded this, is the point. It showed up on a cassette tape mailed to my house in a very old package.
Oh, who was it then?
I don't know, but Pete, it's not the only package I got.
You're filthy.
I got another tape. Actually, I got a box with a lot of tapes in it. And the first one, I think you're really going to want to listen to.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Because I never recorded that first one, but I didn't record this one either. So let's listen to this tape. Hey, it's us again. Pete's here this time.
We're back. Way back.
Back in time.
It's Huey Lewis in the news, baby.
Well,
I got some news for you. I don't know if that's Huey Lewis or not. I just made that up, but it sounds right. And isn't that what's important?
We can go ask him.
We could. We could indeed, because we roll in those circles now.
Because we are rich.
So rich.
So some stuff's changed since last talked to you from that dressing room.
What were you doing, you weirdo?
I was in a dressing room at Ames, and I had to try to get any kind of a message out.
Ames is the best. It's all the best.
I told you about all this. So it's March now. We've been here for a little over 2 months.
It was rough at first.
And then it wasn't, because it turns out
I'm so
making
excited.
money pretty easy in Reagan's America. I've been wrong the whole time. Mm-hmm. Because we are filthy rich now.
You want to tell them how?
I want them to guess.
Okay, let's wait and
Let's
see
wait.
what they say.
Yeah. No, you're wrong, you fucking idiots. You dumb
Not
assholes.
even close.
We are filthy rich because we sold a little screenplay for a movie that you might know.
Well, if you're stuck with no money, what's the only way to make money? Not get a job, is write a script. What's the best script there is?
Well, I'd have to include some time travel elements.
Well, obviously, what's the best time
look at our
travel movie
situation.
there is?
The best time travel movie there is?
Best one there ever was?
From around the 80s?
Yeah. What,
Very clearly. I know what the answer is, Pete.
What's that?
The whole world knows.
Yeah,
It's
what's
Peggy
that?
Sue got married.
Of course it is. And you know what the best part is? Who do we get cast in it?
Well, we went and told Francis Ford Coppola, there's a guy you need in this movie, and you know him.
And he was like, I don't think that's true.
That is what he sounded like. He
know,
sounded like
but-
a cross between a Muppet
And a frog.
and a frog. Which I think there is one of those.
Not that I know of. We could go ask Jim Henson.
We could for a while.
You know what the best part too is?
Oh my God, all the people I think are dead are still alive.
That's the best part. I can't believe you just got it now.
No.
But anyway.
I think, well, this is just going to bring up a conversation we've already had because, there's some things have happened too that aren't great. We had to watch the Challenger explode again, which was, I felt a lot guiltier this time than I did in first grade.
You know what? No, we don't mess with anything.
That's what you say.
I saw that episode of The Simpsons where it was the Treehouse of Horror and Homer kept going back in time. And I read that Ray Bradbury one where you can't step on butterflies or do anything because if you do, it's going to rain donuts.
I know you keep saying that, but I just don't know what. I know it's a major event. I guess we didn't do it. We didn't stop it.
We didn't blow it up either. Let's
know
just
why-
be clear. That wasn't us.
I don't know why we went to watch it. It seemed like a really weird choice because you had to see it.
I never saw it live. Like I saw it on the TV, but I didn't know what it would be like in real life.
Let's go down to Florida. We got all this money. I said, all right, I guess we will.
And you know what? Part of me kind of thought maybe it wouldn't blow up this time.
I thought that too.
Did you?
I don't know why I thought we would affect it just by being there.
I assumed that I would give it like good vibes. I don't even remember what happened, but I was like, if I'm here, I bet you just my genius standing near it will like fix it through osmosis.
I made a quick $50 betting it would blow up with the guy just randomly standing there.
That's
You've rarely seen a sadder person hand over $50.
But he handed it over?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
There's no Welchers in 1986.
No, I hope not.
There's Welch's.
The grape juice, I hate that kid who's going to come later.
Should kill him. No, we can't affect the future.
No, we changed nothing.
Well, we are filthy rich now from writing a screenplay we only knew from memory.
Boy, I didn't think about that, but Nicolas Cage, man.
We launched his career.
Heck yeah. Just think, I'll be able to like go up to him and say, hey, man, I know you.
Because of all the money and watching people die in Challenger explosions, and I'm just going to be honest with you, copious amounts of cocaine, we haven't really gotten far on cracking why we ended up back here.
Wait, why are we back here?
Yeah, I forgot about it for like a month and a half of that 2 months.
Wait, I didn't even think about it till right now, to be perfectly honest. I've just been trying to avoid young you.
Which is strange because you have children and a wife. Oh, this is the first time you've thought of this.
I thought it was quieter around here.
So
It has been nice.
we're going to keep trying to figure out what happened and maybe not do so much drugs. But it's
not-
the 80s.
Yeah, you're supposed to. It's the way things are now. It's weird, but anyway, no more changing things. We've done it once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we changed things for the better for us. We
And the world.
let that teacher and all the scientists die, but hey,
Well,
they were fated to.
we fixed it by having Nicolas Cage's career launched.
Which I think would have happened anyway. I don't know. Time travel.
No, we did it.
fucking time travel.
I'm claiming it.
Yeah. Why didn't we launch Kathleen Turner's career higher? Feels like
I'm sorry. There's only time for one, and it's Nicolas Cage. He sucked up all the star power in that movie.
I guess that's true. My wang.
Yeah.
Written definitively by me. And don't look it up because we used pen names.
Of course we did. What do you think? We're stupid? You think we're new to this? We're not going to get caught by the time cops. I saw that show with Loki.
I thought you were just going to talk about Time Cop, a movie that doesn't exist yet.
Ooh, I don't know that script well enough. No, we can't change anything anymore. No more changing.
Yes, no more changing things. But we do have to figure out why we're here. And we know the one thing that we're sure of is that it happened when we were podcasting.
That's the
Because
last thing I remember.
it's the only time we're together where we could have gotten ourselves trapped in the past.
That is true. I don't see you outside of podcasts.
That's right. So we need you to stop podcasting. And I know now
We're talking to you, Pete and Bryan.
that past Pete is so excited about what I just said. I know he's so excited. He's the happiest he's ever been. But we don't know what's going to happen because our past is set. So I don't think that we can stop ourselves from being here. I thought that at first, but now I think that there's no way to stop it. So we don't need you going back in time too. So we need you to stop recording podcasts. Just don't hang out. Don't talk to each other. Don't do anything. Pete, stop smiling from the past. Our future. What? I don't know. What year is this?
I got lost partway through. So are we supposed to smash things or change things or not?
No. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go watch movies here in 1986, and then we'll send you tapes. And then you can play those instead because it'll prevent you from doing whatever it is that gets caught. Maybe we'll do it again and end up back in the future.
Okay. So we're doing us a favor because we're saying take the time off, stop fucking around, let us figure it out because we're the big brains down here in 1986. And we're giving you some time off. I get it. This is awesome. So I'm just going to go hang out and I'll see you later, I guess, Brian. I'm probably stuff to do here, right?
No, you have to do the podcast with me. It's only past you that gets off. Current you is now having to do all the podcast. Oh, current Pete's sad now. As happy as 2024 Pete is in the past, 1986 Pete is devastated by this news that he has to record this podcast.
It's not funny. It's sad.
But think of all the good movies that came out in 1986.
I don't know what movies came out now.
Because I don't have any way to look at the past and tell you what happened. There's no internet here.
I've kind of been enjoying that, to be perfectly honest.
It's weird to keep going in the woods to find porn to masturbate.
There's always woods porn.
It is, but it's weird to keep going. I think it's just time travelers leaving it there, to be honest with you.
I went back to I don't want to say it, but I put the porn in the woods.
Oh, no.
At my mom's old house. I hid it in a briefcase.
I remember that briefcase.
It sat in the bushes for a while. They're going to find it, and they're going to be so excited. You're welcome, Pete.
So 1986, you're in Ohio.
Yes, I am.
I'm here. So, because we're still in Western New York, so we have to avoid me.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. And I have no problem.
I'll be honest with you. I've been so coked up, I haven't thought about it one fucking time.
I don't think I know what you would look like. I don't think I would know what I look like. I wonder if I ever went to Buffalo. I've been to Niagara Falls before.
Well, you're in Ohio, and there's not going to be any explosions in Ohio for us to go check out.
There is a SeaWorld, though.
What happened in 1986?
I know nothing. I know the Challenger exploded, and that was it.
Yeah, I know that now.
And you know what?
Definitively.
Not going to lie. I didn't know it actually happened in 1986 till we kept seeing all the stuff talking about the Challenger.
I think there was times where when I said, hey, should we do something about this? You were like, about what? I don't think you knew. Did it blow up the first time around?
I'm pretty sure it did.
I'm pretty sure we didn't cause it. There's no way.
No, we already went over this. No, we didn't. And if we did, which we didn't, we fixed it by introducing Nick Cage to the world.
Well, I think in 86 Chernobyl happens, but that's not here. That
doesn't come out till like 2020.
Yeah.
And HBO is HBO. HBO does it in 2020, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do we want to rob people of that groundbreaking award-winning television show by fixing Chernobyl? You got to ask yourself these questions.
Where is it?
Russia?
That's really far away.
I wouldn't even know how to contact somebody. I have
really far away.
And we have millions of dollars.
But I'm here.
But I don't speak Russian.
And we got to do all these podcasts now.
Yeah, we do. And in fact, we're going to head off now and start watching things. We're going to go watch a little movie called Killbots.
Oh.
And it's a movie that is only in previews that you might come to know as being called Chopping Mall.
Never heard of it.
Well, you're going to see it for the first time
ever.
ever.
I'm in.
So see it. That's one movie I know because I got us tickets to go see Killbots.
Killbots. I think those are like BattleBots, but more real.
Well, you're going to find out. You know who's in it?
Jenna Ortega.
In 1986?
Yes.
Barbara Crampton.
Yeah, Barbara Crampton.
All my favorites are here.
Barbara
my.
Crampton. This is
Nicolas
your time
Cage.
to shine.
It is young Barbara Crampton.
All right,
I'm
in.
sure we can't change anything because I'm really rich now.
God damn it. I said no.
And I might be too old for her.
Look.
Oh, how the turntables.
Look. We've already got Nick Cage started. I already left myself porn in the woods. No, we're not changing any more things. Nothing. No.
All right.
Or no.
I mean, there's maybe an Afghanistan guy we could go take care. No, you don't want to do that?
That's far away. Is it in Buffalo?
No.
Far away.
Why are we rich in Buffalo? You know how far the dollar goes here, though? I think that's probably why we're here.
Not really far, because it's hard to throw, and the wind usually pushes it back.
Although we're taking a private jet to go see Killbots, wherever it's screening. I didn't actually look at the tickets. I'm so rich, I don't care. My pilot will take care of that information.
It does sound like a job for a pilot.
Can you believe how much they pay you to write one screenplay?
No. Everyone always talked about how hard getting into the showbiz is.
I guess the 80s were different.
I guess so, man.
It's so easy.
Do enough coke, say Nick Cage to enough people. And
you know
like,
what the weirdest?
Get out.
What have you found to be the weirdest thing? 'Cause to me, the weirdest thing about being in 1986 is that there's no guide channel to just tell me what's on TV.
I think it's really getting used to commercials again.
Oh, yeah.
Commercials are weird.
And I know it doesn't bother you, but that lack of internet, and also your family.
Oh, yeah, right. Them.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go see Killbots. Don't record podcasts.
Just stop. Just go ahead. Watch this one or listen to this one. It's great.
Take the summer
nothing
off.
else.
We'll get back to you when we figure this out, but you need to listen to these episodes, okay? Because here's the thing. I know you're lazy. And I know I'm talking to you, Bryan, because he doesn't deal with any of this. He doesn't know any of the technical side of it because he's really lazy. But you're also lazy. Am I wrong?
No.
So I need you to listen to these because it's the only way we're going to be able to communicate with you. So we're going to Back to the Future 2 these tapes to you, and you can listen to them, and we'll try to, maybe there's a way you can help us. Maybe there's not. We don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. But you're going to have to listen. If you don't listen.
The important thing is take the summer off.
Yes.
We recorded it for you. Just go off, do whatever you want.
Except also listen to the podcast. See,
Yeah. Go hit play, go. Have fun.
We'll have done all the work for you, except you have to listen. That's all you have to do.
Right. Take the summer off.
And then
just go.
We'll get back
don't make it. You're going to confuse Pete. And just say, take the summer off, Pete. That's all you have to say. Don't let Pete. Don't let Bryan confuse you.
Listen, I think we both know Pete left a long time ago.
What are you talking about?
There's zero chance after past me hit that button in the future that you sat there and listened to this entire thing.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. Back to you guys. Pete left as soon as he said take the summer off. But come back. Come back here. So you see what I'm saying? I didn't record these.
Record what?
Oh, no. Well,
I heard what sounded like some awful thing, and it was longer than a minute. That was definitely an infinite minute.
I said the first one was a minute.
Well, I got bored and left. I heard that I had to leave, and it was good for me to leave, so I left. I don't know what it was. It sounded stupid, whatever that was, that you made me listen to. And if you're trying to pretend that was us, God, that's awful. That is awful. I wouldn't listen to this podcast ever if that's what it sounds like.
Well, you don't listen to this podcast ever.
And with good cause.
So they told us we're not supposed to make any more episodes.
Yeah. But I'm not. I'm left. I'm gone. I was just going to say I never got to my Nicolas Cage stuff, and that's mostly why I came back down here, because I had Nicolas Cage time travel stuff.
I did think it was weird you left. This is your house.
I'm taking the summer off, man. I got places to go, things to do.
Yeah, I got a series of tapes to put in.
Then put them in so we can go. I want to leave.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to because I've uploaded them all. So for the next, I think, 10 weeks at least, maybe more tapes will come. I don't know. For the next 10 weeks, we're going to be getting movies from 1986.
Good. Great. I've got a hammock with a kiddie pool on one side and a sandbox on the other so I can pretend I'm at the beach. I am ready to go.
Do you want to hear what these names of these tapes are?
No.
Do you just want to get to your Nick Cage stuff?
Yeah, go ahead and read me what your tapes say while I look for my Nick Cage news.
Well, the first one is labeled Chopping Mall.
Don't know what that is.
The second one is labeled April Fool's Day.
That's a day of the year.
The third one is labeled Critters.
That's a movie. I like that movie.
The fourth one is interesting. It says Watch Along, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They just broke the format. I mean, I guess we broke the format by doing these time travel movies.
I'm still very confused why all of this is happening right now.
I don't know either.
All right.
The next one says Aliens. And the next one says Maximum Overdrive. And the next one says The Fly. And then the next one says Night of the Creeps. And the next one says Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And then one I'm very excited about, Pete. It says Watch Along, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
Ugh. Are you sure you're not involved in this? Because the Star Trek sounds like a you thing. You're all about the Trek.
Pete, we're clearly involved in this. That's us on the tape.
First off, again, I don't know what that was at the beginning, but I left. It was boring and long. So long. Now, exciting things are Nicolas Cage. I'm going to call this one a knick-knack fact. I was looking up how many time travel movies Nicolas Cage was in. Not necessarily time travel, but somehow time playing with time loops. Now you see why I was trying to figure out the different definitions of time movies, because then I could put more Nicolas Cage movies in my list. The internet gave me a lot more, but I know for a fact there's no time travel in some of these. I think they just cut forward a couple hundred years to continue the story, so I'm going to skip those. But I came up with 4 movies that I know are time travel movies.
I know one.
What one?
Peggy Sue Got Married.
Of course. course. That's a good one. That's my favorite one. I love that movie.
It sounds like we had a lot to do with it, too, if you listen to this tape.
Good luck with that, buddy. You couldn't get me to listen to it when I'm right here with headphones on. Anyway, yep, that's one. Peggy Sue Got Married. There was something called The Family Man with Tia Leone. I think that's more of a shift. I haven't seen that one yet, but it's one of those what ifs. You get to live an alternate life kind of thing. There is Knowing, which I think is a 2-minute loop thing. And there's also Next, which also is 2 minutes, I believe. So those are the 4 time travel movies with Nicolas Cage that I can think of. Doing my research, I found somebody else who pops up in a lot of time travel movies, but I forgot who it was. I think it was a girl, though. There's an actress who does a lot of time travel movies who's not Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the two of them.
This doesn't freak you out at all.
What?
That we were just told by ourselves to not make the podcast and that we got recordings with our voices on them.
Well, look, I'm not sure what the game is here. I don't think that was me.
You heard yourself. I can't do a Pete impression.
That didn't sound like me.
It didn't sound like
It
you?
didn't sound like anything like me.
No, he was pretty funny. You're right.
You know, you know what, buddy? I'm going to take my Nicolas Cage news and go.
I know you're frustrated, but apparently we don't have to do this again. So I guess enjoy the 1986 episodes.
So we're seriously, I can go to my hammock right now.
Yeah, we're not. We were told not
I'm
to
out.
record for the entire until. Well, he's gone again. I guess we'll see you in the future. He just broke something, I think. All right, I guess we'll see you next week, but it won't be us. Or will be us. I don't know. I don't know how to do this podcast alone. I guess I'll just stop doing the podcast. Go to scarevalue.com. That will still be going. What?